Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fresh Takes Gaming Podcast, episode 37. Podcast that brings you fresh takes on the gaming industry, news, kerfuffles, debacles, etc. I'm your host, Evan, and tonight, we have a very special guest co-host with us. RoseRaider joins us tonight. What is up, Rose?
Hi, it's so good to be here. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for agreeing to be on here. It was kind of a short notice thing. We had planned this for a while, but then things kind of just fell in
Yeah.
place. Unfortunately,
Well, that's how it happens.
yes, it is how it happens. It's a hurry up and wait, and then it's 11th hour. It's go time. Unfortunately, Nick, our my normal co-host buddy, he is sick with pneumonia, so he was trying to do the show. I told him otherwise. I said, buddy, you need to get rest. We will get the co-host slot filled and get to feeling better. So everybody, if you're on Twitter, go show him some love. At the DS Claus, his tag, tell him feel better. So yes, some patch notes for the show. We have launched a buymeacoffee.com page. So you can show your support through buymeacoffee.com/supportftg. It's as little as, I think, $3 per cup. Less than a latte at Starbucks, guys. That's all I'm saying. So multiple options there. We decided to go that route because it offered not only membership or single one-time donations, and also member perks as well, and supporter perks as well. So very, very fluid, very open sort of platform. We decided to go with that, so go check it out if you can. We'd appreciate to see you there. And of course, any supporters, you can leave a message with your cup of coffee, and we will read it on the show. There you go. But that is it as far as patch notes. That's it. That's all I got. Nothing else. New year. That's the new thing we did, right? So,
Yeah.
Of course, if you like the content, if you like the show, we're on YouTube and audio. Send us a like, hit us with a subscribe. Also, link down below in the description. You can join our Discord. Really good community there, good people, always posting stuff that's free, games, talking about new games upcoming, etc., etc. So, if you're done with the show here, you can always keep the conversation going in the Discord. All right, moving on. Rose, what are you playing lately?
Oh man, I'm playing a lot of games. I'm definitely a variety streamer, but I just love Apex. I just keep going back to it. I just keep going back. I can't help myself.
Okay.
There's something so satisfying. Like I play COD, or WoW or Assassin's Creed. You're kind of hey, you're killing the opponent, right? But when you kill someone in Apex, it's just so satisfying when he finally comes to and let's say you wipe 3 squads. It's great.
It is. It's a hype game. It is a hype game, and I've watched some of your streams. You are pretty hype. So I'm gonna say you're like
I'm like the master
you
of
are
hype.
the
I'm like
queen.
the hype
You
woman.
are. You're the
Definition of
hype
it.
queen for sure.
Let's go.
So yeah. So I mean, the new it's not the new season, but the new game mode, right? With the boxing ring launch for that.
Oh
And
yeah.
how do you feel about that going into the ring and going to fisticuffs?
It was interesting. I had mixed feelings about it. I was really excited that Pathy was gonna get an event. Pathfinder is my main. I've been playing him since day one that the Apex has been released. And I've always wanted to be the one where at the end of the game there's 2 teams left and you go and you strip all of your stuff down and you go and box. And I've heard people do that and like the winner of the boxing match wins the game. And I always thought that'd be so much fun, but every time that I go to do that, I go and do it. And even if the opponent is boxing me, their teammate just kills me. And so like it's never really worked out. So I was super excited. I drop in, I go down into the ring, and there's 6 other teams. Where are my teammates? They're not with me. And so I'm in this ring with all these people, and I had all of them going towards me. So it was interesting. Or we went in there and it was empty. I wish it would have been like a limited time event, sort of like Mirage Voyage
Mhm.
was. Or not Mirage Voyage, the train.
Okay.
And it's 3 teams and they go in there. I don't know, like, how you could have done it, but just have us kinda, like, box it out in some sort of formal way rather than just, like, a free-for-all and everybody just tackle each other. But either way, it was fun. Pathing got an event. It was exciting. But there's something new that just came out yesterday. We got Kings Canyon back, and I was,
Oh,
made in Kings Canyon
yeah.
because that's all they had when they first started, and so I'm super excited. I'm gonna jump into it tonight. I'm
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you touched on the Winter Express event, right? With
yes.
the train cars. That I love that mode.
Mhm.
Like it will trigger you
My
sometimes,
favorite
but it is
mode.
so fun. It is so fun and
Um, yeah.
but awesome.
The fact that that you drop in with guns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The guns rotate, so they go through each legend, and you're all kind of in a localized area. It's not a bunch of them. You can be strategic about where you land, on where you're gonna put yourself, and then you just get straight to it, and you can get a bunch of damage, you can get a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
kills, and exciting, exhilarating. Then you die, and then you like immediately get to go back and do it again, and like it's right into it. There's not like running around the map and fighting for loot. It's hard to suck it up when you're in ranks and you go hot drop and they get all the guns and you don't get a gun and you're like,
Well,
well,
yeah. Yeah,
bye
yeah,
RP.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now you've been Apex, you've pretty much been playing since it launched.
Well, pretty much. It launched and I played this first season. The second season came out and I moved, and so I wasn't really able to play most of
Okay.
that. I think I might have caught the end of that
Sure.
season, and then I played since then. In January or not January, in July, I think whatever season that might have been like 5 or 6 that came out through there. That's when they introduced more of the energy weapons.
Mm-hmm.
That was an adjustment.
Yeah.
It was an adjustment for sure. Between that and like Mixer shutting down and having so much stuff going on, um, I don't think I played for 2 months, but I mean, I always go back to it. I'm like, Apex is making me so mad, and then a couple days later, I'm like,
Go play. Yeah. That's
let's go
yeah,
play.
absolutely. Awesome, awesome. So,
Yeah.
Apex is kind of your main thing. You mentioned WoW a little bit.
Yeah, so WoW is something new that I got into. WoW, I know has been around for a really long time. I've got a couple good, really awesome friends that were playing it, and so that made me feel kind of comfortable getting into it. I think I made a judgment call, like, just from the outside, not even really even seeing any of the gameplay. And I just kind of was like, I don't really like it. So when I actually just full sent it and tried it, I actually ended up buying like Shadowlands because Shadowlands wasn't out yet. I think it was November. I ended up buying that and I bought like the WoW token or whatever so I could get like the monthly
Mm-hmm.
subscription. And I even bought an MMO mouse, which let me tell you what. So this mouse is a very light mouse that's perfect for
Mm-hmm.
Apex, but there's not really buttons. There's like 2 buttons. But when you play MMOs, you've got all these buttons all over the keyboard. That was an adjustment for
Mm-hmm.
me. I know my keyboard well, but I got this mouse recommended from a friend, and it has 12 buttons on the side. So I'm over here learning how to do these buttons. Um, I had a blast. It was awesome. I like kind of quest stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was able to learn those buttons, pick it up really fast, so it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well,
Have you played Shadowlands
I have
yourself?
not played Shadowlands myself, so I have a past, a history with WoW. So
Okay.
when oh gosh, it was probably 2012, right? I think yeah, 2012. I bought a pre-built. Uh, no, it was before that. It was probably 2010. Anyway, time doesn't matter. It was a long time
Yeah.
ago, and it's when I worked in a tech support call center for a large
Okay.
telecommunications company. I'll remain unnamed, but we had and that's part of it, right? Is the community aspect. You get in with a good group of people, good guild. Well, all the people, vast majority of the people I worked with played, so we had a guild for basically our whole work team, and I played as a single man an exorbitant amount of hours into that game, and I played from uh the first expansion, I think, Burning Crusade, I think it was called, and then up
Mhm.
through all the way up through Wrath of the Lich King. And then I just kind of fell off. I was like, I can't. I was kind of addicted to it. Not gonna lie, I kind of had a problem, and I had just like cold turkey. It's like, nah, can't do it anymore. Gotta go. So
You get into
you
it because
do.
there's so much to do.
Yep.
Um, and I'm a person who really gets into games. So even, like, before I started playing WoW, um Like, I've been known to start up a game, and let's say there's a new season, or let's say there's something new about it that I really get into, for, like, 16, 20 hours straight. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing this crazy?" It's just like, I'm just if I were to turn this like, I would this is what I wanna do. I just, like, get in it, and I just dive in it, and I love going into those worlds, like, whether it be Skyrim or whatever it
Hmm.
is, wow, putting yourself into that world and really kind of immersing yourself. And I feel like everything else just kind of disappears and it's fun to just let go.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a nice escape, right? So,
Mhm.
what class and race are you rolling?
So I am in the Horde
Okay.
and I am a hunter. I think I'm a blood elf. I started out as an orc. I think it was an orc. I'm not sure. I was green. And then as I progressed, I paid to switch it to an elf because I wanted to look more like a person.
Okay.
And my friends think it's so funny because I'm like the type of person where I love the transmog aspect of it. Because I like to look nice in the
Sure.
games,
Right.
right? I want to look nice. And so they're like, Rose over here caring about her outfit more than her item level.
Yeah.
But I have a good item level. I think it's like 187 or something like that. I
Okay.
don't know. But I've got friends that makes it fun and run with, and Torghast has been challenged, but we're chugging
Okay.
along. It's great.
That's great. And that's what it is, right? I mean, there's always something to do in those games. Like when people, the guild, we weren't necessarily doing a raid or anything. I was a night elf druid. So I would go, build up my leatherworking, go farm materials for hours on end to build up my leatherworking so I could get this piece of armor made or this bag, expanded slot bag made or whatever. So
Mhm.
always something to do in those games.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I'm glad you're getting into
Mhm.
that and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Um, I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077, and
Isn't it such a good game?
it's so
What are your
it's
feelings on it? We need to break this down because I have feelings that I feel like are much different than what you've been reading on Twitter. So I'd love to know what your
okay.
experience is.
So one of our previous episodes we was titled Cyberbug 2077. Okay.
Okay.
Um, but honestly, you know, did it launch in a not good state? Yes, right? Mainly for console players. So how I feel about it and this isn't a PC master race elitist statement is Cyberpunk 2077 on PC and I'm not running like current gen hardware. Like I have a 1080, GPU, Ryzen 2600 CPU, right? 16 gigs of memory. Like this isn't a beefy rig by any current state of affairs.
Mhm.
And it runs well. I mean, there is some jank. Let me just say that there's some jankiness. There are some weird clipping issues that happen, or weird AI issues that happen. But the the city, the environment, the the gun, the story. Oh my god, the story is so good. I'm enjoying it. I'm really
Right.
enjoying it, and maybe I'm in the
I
minority.
love it too.
So
No, I think, we must both be the minority. I personally think that, console players probably had it rough,
yes.
and I didn't play it on console. I had the ability to play it on PC. You know, Which for me, I didn't really experience that much stuff. Maybe I could say that I've had, like, 1 or 2 things, but it wasn't something that, like, kept me from playing. And I think only one time I just, like, restarted it and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But running around the city and just, like, all the different aspects, I think picking things up is a little janky.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the F key, and I would really like to make it the E key, but they don't give you the option to change that
Yeah.
keybind, but everything else in the world you can change. The customizations are out of this world,
Mm-hmm.
crazy, and, it's just so beautiful. I really like
It
it.
really is. It's a fantastic
I
looking game.
purposely don't stream it though. It's too heavy on my PC to
Oh yeah.
stream, and I just got an RX 5700 XT,
Mm-hmm.
and it's it
Yeah.
still doesn't like, I could stream it, but it's choppy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, when I put that game on, like I immediately, as soon as I enter into the game, like the fans just kick up on my GPU
Setting.
and it's like, wow, this thing's ready for liftoff. Um, but
Yeah. Yeah, for
It's
sure.
it's a beautiful game. It's a great game, and there like nothing game breaking has happened for me in it. Again, jankiness. Like there was one time I jumped off a bridge down onto the freeway below, and apparently that triggered a whole like looping set of car accidents. Like
Oh my
every
god,
new car that came by just kept crashing into the guardrail over and over. It was a new car. It-
kinda fun
oh, dude,
though.
I was
Honestly,
loving it.
I had this whole thing where I was all, "I wanna find the bugs."
Hmm.
Like, I wanna find the glitches, I wanna find the bugs, I wanna find, what's going on and, like, kind of experience them. Those are kinda like fun little interactive things that are funny, that aren't forever,
Right,
you
right.
know? And unlike Apex, when Apex has bugs, it just crashes, and you can't play at all.
exactly,
Poor
exactly. Yeah,
Apex.
Apex. Yeah, but yeah, it's been great, and the driving in it is not great. Driving controls aren't very great, but the shooting's good,
You know what? I haven't had that many issues with it. I recently, though, bought a controller because of Cyberpunk,
and
okay?
that's
I'm more of like a PlayStation girl,
okay.
so I've got my PlayStation
Yeah,
controller, and, when I play Assassin's Creed Valhalla and when I play Cyberpunk, I bought these for these 2 games because, like, there's times when you have cinematics and I feel like I'm kinda, like, sitting back, because each one, it takes a little bit longer, and then you have to do something. I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna play now," and so then I go to play, and it's like you take 2 steps, and then you talk to this guy, and it's cinematic again. So I was, like, doing this a lot, so I was like, "I just
chill
wanna
mode
play." So
activate.
now I'm learning shit on the
Yep,
controller again. It's
and the
great.
same for me. I play Cyberpunk strictly on an Xbox controller, so it just works out for me better that way. Like again, the aiming, the combat, the jumping, the maneuvering's fine. It's this just weird driving stuff. But again, CD Projekt Red, I feel, is kind of trying to be everything to everyone with everything they put into this game. So
Exactly what I say the opposite to do, honestly, and I feel like maybe that's where they miss their mark is because you need to be accepting that you're not going to be able to hit everyone's likeness on everything. You know what
mhm,
I mean? Like, you need to pick your lane and almost stay in it, and then when other people aren't really a fan of it, well, that's okay because it wasn't made for you,
exactly,
right? Like, maybe something else will be made for you, not everything is meant for everybody, and understanding that rather than being like, "Oh, they didn't like it. Oh, no, we need to please them." But just accepting that is a big thing.
for sure, for sure. So yeah, so I've been playing Cyberpunk. Paladins, it's kind of one of my go tos, just my fallback kind of feel good game. Um, I know I probably bring that up all the
Makes you
time.
all warm and
Makes me all
fuzzy.
from. I mean, it's just fun. Team deathmatch or siege mode, just fun. You find your hero that you're have taken a liking to, and you just kind of do your best. It's just fun. No stress.
Nice.
And Ghost Runner is also another game I've been playing. Um, it's kind of a cyberpunky themed wall running rhythm action game. Kind of how I can put it. Um,
Wall running? So, like,
yes.
do you go from running on the wall to running on the floor, like, all around the walls?
So they're pretty
Turn with it?
pretty pretty much. So like you'll like
I'm gonna have to look this
yeah,
up.
you'll run and slide, and then there'll be like a wall floating in like an industrial area. You'll have to run up off that, go over here, slow down time while you're in air, and like kill the guy before he one shots you. So it's good. It's good. It's a lot of fun. It can get you a little triggered at times because it's literally like you'll wipe, start over at the last save, and just keep running and running and running to try to get the whole area cleared out because it's one shot, one kill. Like one shot, you're dead. There is no
Mhm.
health bar. It's you get tagged, starting over. So it's
Savage.
yeah, it's pretty savage, but it's fun. So yeah, so that's what we've been playing, guys. Let us know what
Nice.
you all have been playing in the comments below. Okay, let's move on to some stories. There's been some news, and we're going to touch on just a couple things. And I guess we'll start off with coming to us from The Verge. The Epic Game Store is now offering Spotify. So, do you think that they might be a little salty about the whole Apple and Google thing?
Yep, something definitely. I mean, I can't imagine that something as huge as what happened between Epic Games and Apple's kind of falling out and, debacle between each other doesn't have some sort of huge strive something.
Yeah.
You know, I can't imagine they're just gonna continue on how they were doing it.
Yes. So it's interesting. So they had just kind of like promoted it on. They have a tweet out from the Epic Game Store account. It says Spotify is now available on Epic Game Store. Discover new music and podcasts while you game, listen to songs you love, and enjoy music from all over the world. Okay, great. But I honestly don't recall seeing this ad in Epic Game Store because I fire up Epic Game Store once every other day just to either look what free games are available or any sales. And I do not remember seeing anything about Spotify in there. So it's kind of odd to me that they put this out there and it's like they're not really championing it like in their platform.
Maybe, but maybe they're just kind of like, sort of very in the beginning of introducing it in a way, kind of just seeing what it's going to take from. I know that, let's say, Xbox and Discord, I think that they have kind of been, now whether or not they did it on purpose or whether they have some sort of an agreement or whether they work together to kind of like support one another, I'm not too sure. But I know that Discord was offering Xbox Game Pass PC, and then I know Xbox Game Pass was or Xbox in some way was offering Discord Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
So those two things kind of like went hand in
Yeah.
hand. And I just find that I know there's some businesses or companies that start partnering with like Disney Plus. They're like, hey, if you use our service, and I think this is really known for cell phone companies. You know what I mean? They're like, if
Yeah.
you get our service, we'll give you this subscription for free. They'll like partner with that company and offer that to
Sure.
them. I'm sure they want to just get their hands in that game. It makes sense, like from a marketing standpoint.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Bring people in.
absolutely. Like, kind of make a one-stop shop for your entertainment in a way. Seems like
Yeah.
working on. You have your
It's
games.
Microsoft. I mean, they want to take over everything.
True. Yeah. So like with Epic Games bringing in Spotify, it's like, okay, well, we kind of want to develop that same sort of one-stop shop. So, I'll be interested to see what other stuff they start putting in there as far as services go. Could we see a Hulu or like a Disney Plus or something, right? Like, I don't know, maybe. Who knows?
It honestly wouldn't surprise
Yeah.
me. It wouldn't surprise me. And it wouldn't surprise me if someone new attaches to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is a little off topic, but I know Netflix is planning on releasing, I think, like one movie a week or something like
I saw that. Yeah.
with some really, really good named artists,
Mm-hmm.
like actors and actresses and creators on their own. And I think that we're going to not only see, names and faces that we're so used to seeing in these, like that we would normally pay to go to the movie theater to see, but I think we're going to see some new shining lights as well. And so it wouldn't surprise me for more people to jump on
Yeah.
that.
Sure. Okay. Well, we'll see what future holds for Epic Game Store and the services they offer. But we're gonna move along to the story about Capcom updating. Now, this came out actually probably about a week-ish ago. Capcom updated their guidelines for content creators. Now, there was a big, uproar on Twitter, as there usually is about things of this sort. And, the vast majority of things I've saw were, people up in arms and they weren't very happy about it. And this, that, and the other thing. And, typically here on the show, we usually like to side with, be on the side of content creators, gamers, so on, and not necessarily big businesses or huge publishers. But in this one, I think I'm leaning more towards Capcom, going and taking Capcom's side in this. I'll just do a quick rundown here. So the original guidelines basically said, if you make any walkthroughs or tutorials, let's plays, speedruns, reviews, reactions, instructionals, and other commentary style videos using their game footage to be shared on YouTube, Twitch, etc., the associated step-by-step commentary should be tied to the live gameplay being shown and should provide instructional or educational value or other benefits. And then as far as game footage posted online, you should not share game footage online without adding your own video or content unless the game console or device permits sharing of game footage. You may not split our game content into components. and distribute such components as separate content. Okay. And any fan content may not be promoted as official Capcom content. Duh. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. So,
Mhm.
only Capcom music. Please note that some game soundtracks or songs may not be owned by Capcom. Oh god, this is tying into DMCA. Forgot about this one. But instead are licensed from artists or another group. As this varies from game to game, please be aware that music may trigger content flags and potential removal of the video. Okay, that's. I mean, yeah, with the whole DMCA thing going on, that's. I mean, yeah, and
I mean, and that's just what it is, honestly, because I mean, look at it from not a creator standpoint, not a viewer standpoint, and not a gamer standpoint, but the people that are making the game. You know, they aren't making the game so that content creators can play it and, make a living or entertain their friends or, whatever it is that they want to do. They're making the game so that people can enjoy the game, right? Right. So, like, why should they be held back from using music that they have every right to use in their game just because someone won't be able to also make money off of that?
right.
But the fact that they're telling people, hey, this is a thing I need you to be aware and just watch out for it. If they were coming across saying like all of our stuff is safe and then comes back and you're getting claims for that, like that would kind of be kind of shady. But I think they're being upfront. They're paying their licenses and they're paying their artists
Hmm.
to be able to make their game. I think that I don't know, I think it's kind of their decision.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, they're the ones footing the bill for the development of their game, paying the publishing costs, et cetera, et cetera. So it's it's their property. They can put whatever
Mhm.
use restrictions on it that they want. I mean, bar
Mhm.
none. And one of the other things it says all fan created content should be appropriate for the audience of the Capcom games. So yeah, if it's a E for everyone Capcom game, and you have somewhere in there doing more adult themed content, whether it's nudity, drug use, whatever they're doing with it, dark comedy, whatever they're doing. I mean, yeah, that's age appropriate. You need to have whatever the game is that you're trying to make content for. Your content does need to follow the uh, scoring of that game or the age rating of that game.
Sure. I 100% agree.
We're probably gonna get flamed in comments on this. That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
You know what? We can't what did we say earlier? We can't make everyone
That's all right.
happy. And, I know in the beginning there was another point, you know, you can upload it, but and you can stream it, but you need to make it your own and I think that they put some extra wording in there somewhat to protect themselves. But really at the end of the day, um as a content creator, I think that you should always be striving to make it your own, right? Adding a different element. When you're streaming, my recommendation would be to, even if you added a simple overlay or a camera, any of those, just adding your camera onto the gameplay and then having just you talking or you anything like that can be it. And I think even speaking, so like if you're just playing through the game and then you're talking through the game and you're giving your input and what you think and your
Mhm.
experiences through that, I think that counts as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
They just don't want a solid, quiet, nothing but their stream because how are you really representing that? Because that's almost like, you're straight up taking their content. You're not just making your own content off of it.
Right. Right. No, I 100% agree. 100% agree with that. So we'll see. I think as the weeks progressed, Capcom put out another tweet that said, thanks everyone for the feedback. Though this policy is newly posted, be assured these are guidelines we've been using already and is not meant to change how we approach creator content. And they were very open about it. And they said reply with specific questions here, and we'll work on clarifying in the near future. I mean, what more can you ask for?
It's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward, and I think they just kind of wanted everybody to know, especially with light of everything. I think transparency is the biggest key,
Yeah.
and I think they get credit for saying that. There's a lot of companies that don't or haven't
Yes.
to this day,
Absolutely.
and you're just kind of stuck in the dark, going, "Well, I guess we'll see."
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely right. You're kind of rolling the dice, and when you're trying to create content, and you don't really know what the policy is, not explicitly out there.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's what's going on with Capcom and their content policy. I think it's a good thing though. Good job, Capcom. Good on you.
Good job.
So, I think what we're gonna do. I think so. Those are the kind of the two bigger news stories. We're gonna go into one more, and then we're gonna get to talk a little bit more to Rose about her streaming career. But next, the next story is dun 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 dun. EA has lost exclusivity of the Star Wars franchise for video games. That's right. But yeah, so I mean, this has been all over the internet. The link I have, which all the links for all the stories that we discuss, will be in the description and show notes for audio listeners. And it comes from Gematsu, but it's been everywhere. So EA no longer has exclusivity rights that they've had for years on the Star Wars franchise. We can talk about the Battlefront series, Battlefront 2, one of the most hated games at launch that I can recall in recent history, due to the microtransaction hell that they tried to impart on their game players. And that was not a good look. And I think Disney or Lucas kind of seeing the writing on the wall with that. Now, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, pretty good game. I never finished it, but I enjoyed what I played of it. And in light of this news, it is said that Ubisoft is now working on an open world Star Wars game, and I am extremely freaking hyped about that.
It's just so awesome. It's so excited. I found out a couple days ago, and almost like taking like a Skyrim feel. And I love Skyrim so much, and just having that in Star Wars, I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Be really dope. And I think that they're gonna have a really cool way to put it, because especially since it's so new. Now, I mean, it's 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're gonna take all the best technology that we're gonna have out here now. So like I can't even begin to try to imagine what they're gonna make. I don't know. I literally went blank for a second. That's like I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to imagine, but I just can't.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, Ubisoft has done really well with the open world field of the Assassin's Creed franchise, especially the last three, Origins, Odyssey, and now Valhalla, which I haven't played yet. And also, probably gonna lose nerd points. Never played Skyrim because I know it would be a huge time suck of my life. So, and that's why. It's not because I have no interest in it. It's because I'm too interested in it. So
you're too interested in it. Valhalla is amazing. I love the Assassin's Creed series. Valhalla is so fun. I have slowly kind of been working through it, and it's something I love to play on stream. Community loves it. We've been hyping it up. I love playing it off stream as well when I'm just chilling back, hanging out. And you know what? Actually, I find myself there's like this. Do you mind if I spoil something? Do you mind? I've already seen.
Okay, guys, if you're listening or watching, there's gonna be some spoilers. Okay, 3,
Spoilers.
2, 1. Spoilers. Go.
Okay, so there's a dice game, and in every city that you go to, there's going to be this dice game and this drinking game that you can play. And so this dice game, you go and you sit down, and you're like, I want to play, and I swear this dice game should be a game of its own. Like I would play that game. Like one time I went in there and I was like, we're gonna go play some dice, guys. We're gonna go play some dice, and we'll sit down and like you get these tiles and you're trying to like get a sword or an axe, and they have a target and a helmet they can put on to kind of like knock them off so like you can't hit their points, and so you have X amount of little stones, right? And so you're just trying to take all of their stones away. I will sit there for hours, dude, and just play that game. I'm not progressing in the story. I'm not doing anything at all to like further my way in this game. I am literally, and I don't think I get anything from doing it over and over and over and over again, but I just love it so much. It's just so fun.
Great. That is
It's
awesome.
great. It's like it's my favorite part.
That's awesome. That's too great. So did you play Odyssey?
I did.
Okay, so that's the last.
It was
I loved it. I think I have probably 60, 70 hours in that game.
I have a unicorn as a
So
horse.
do I.
And
I have the unicorn too.
And I love it so much. And I don't have my hat. So I've got like a unicorn hat that I wear when I ride it. And we went to Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a technical name of like the actual place that I was, but it's kind of like the idea. I think that was just kind of like the home of it, and there's like these little worlds. And gosh, I just loved riding it all through there. I love the there's nothing that I don't like about it,
Yeah.
honestly. I just like all of it. It's so fun.
So which character did you play as in Odyssey?
I was
Same
Cassandra.
here. Yeah.
Mhm.
It
I
was
was Cassandra. It
it
was
was a great
great.
ride, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, and then when I started Valhalla, the way and I'm not gonna give a spoiler, but I'm just gonna say that the way it started, thank God I was streaming, so I got my reactions all on camera, like, it was so crazy because, like, immediately I was just like, "Fuck, holy shit, it's getting like, am I gonna make it? I haven't even started yet." So, like, yeah,
That's
that could be a
awesome.
movie. They did such a good job on the cinematics. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Uh, Fucking well done.
But now
Congrats.
go ahead.
Uh,
Yeah, congrats to
I was
Ubisoft.
just gonna say, I recommend it for anybody
Yeah,
who wants to play.
I'm gonna get it at some point. Just so many good games.
You got
I'm in
to.
Cyberpunk now. I can
You
only do
got
one open world game at a time. I
I
can't
got
do it.
Cyberpunk and
Man,
Valhalla,
you're
so now I like
oh my
like,
gosh. Oh my gosh, that's
yeah.
crazy.
It takes a little bit longer to go through them, but, like, I just get these jolts of, like, I wanna go spend time in this world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I wanna go run around in these mountains.
Mhm.
I wanna go run around in, like, this valley. Or Apex, I wanna go play in the purple grass. So let's go to Olympus because I wanna go hang out in Purple
That's right.
Land. And,
Exactly.
like
Yeah, because Greece in Odyssey, Greece was like I just loved being in that world. It was just like,
mhm,
okay, I'm gonna go ride around my horse or a unicorn for a little bit, do some side quests, whatever. Like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go
explore
sailing.
the
I'm gonna go
buildings.
sailing for a bit, get on that
Yeah,
water, you know?
yeah.
So good.
Yes. I love running around and roaming without actually
A
having
point.
a place
Yeah.
to go. Like, maybe I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go, in this general area, in this general direction, and I'm gonna go explore."
Mhm.
Like, I don't know what we're gonna run into, but we're gonna go. We're
Yep.
going. We're going on a trip. It's an adventure. I'm an adventure
Yeah.
girl, like, in games and out of games. So, anytime I can kind of submerge myself into that adventure is just
Awesome. Yeah. So imagine that, but with the Star Wars universe. It's like I'm just like,
yeah.
give it to me.
Blow our minds.
I'm ready.
With that and, like, the latest technology that
Right.
there is because Star Wars always goes above and beyond,
Mhm.
right? Like, they are always, like, top notch, like, "Let's just overkill this real
Yep.
quick."
All the ray
So,
tracing. All
yeah.
the ray
Mhm,
tracing.
all the ray tracing.
Yeah.
I
So I
know.
can't wait. I'm super stoked
I
for
wish
that.
that they would make it less okay, so we've got these beefed up GPUs now.
Mhm.
But now, I don't know what they're doing when they're making games. I don't know if any game developers are watching this at all, but I would really love to know why games are so CPU heavy. Because now that we've
Right?
got this beefed up GPU, and then I go to play, and then my GPU is running at 20, 30%, but yet my CPU is at 100 being maxed out.
Mhm.
And, like, that's kind of confusing because
Yeah.
I feel like before it was the other way. Whatever we've done, we, like,
Yeah.
just swapped them. And, I yeah,
It's all a ploy to keep PC
I don't know,
owners constantly upgrading, spending money.
constantly. Yes.
So
It's a trap.
it is a
It's
trap.
a
It's a
trap.
trap. For sure. Awesome.
I'm gonna do it, though. I'm gonna take the plunge.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And like, yeah, I don't know, like the first game that I noticed like CPU intense was like Warzone, where I was just like, my GPU is sitting at like 25-30%, but my again, like you said, like my CPU is just like tanked. So we'll see.
Yep.
Developers, please
Help.
use up all the GPU we have available to us. Please and thank you.
But maybe not all of
Well,
it.
not all of
Don't
it. Like cap it at like 65, 70. We need a little more headroom. Just a little bit of headroom left,
Yeah,
right? So
a little bit.
so
And it doesn't make up for just by sending us overclocked GPUs
no.
already
No, no,
to
no.
make up for that little bit. That doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Facts.
Count.
So yeah, so I'm interested in that. We'll see what happens with that. I would like to see like maybe hopefully a trailer at some point or something. I know it's still early on. You know, they just signed the ink is probably still wet on the contract for Ubisoft getting this deal, but I want it already.
I
I
mean,
just want it.
could they yeah. I couldn't imagine that they would have a whole lot now. I mean, unless they have but I mean, like, when it was signed, Do you think that they knew beforehand and was like have already been working on ideas and stuff that they wanted to do? Couldn't imagine working on a project that something like that that's so far fetched.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's one of those things
Do
like,
we know did their exclusivity just run out? Was it only till, like, 2021 and it just happened to run out and they didn't renew it? Or did they finally just say, "You know what? We're gonna let this go?"
yeah, I think it was a matter of the exclusivity agreement ran out, and it ran out, but they didn't say we're not going to go with EA anymore, because EA still said, hey, we still have Star Wars games in the pipe that we're going to make. But
Mhm.
now other developers have a shot to do their version of it.
Well, and it doesn't make any sense to me anymore, especially where we are in this world, to have it exclusivity into one thing because there's so much more opportunity.
Mhm.
Just based off of certain, let's say, consoles or systems.
Right.
Whether you're Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, you know, there's a huge demographic of people who would love to take part in those things, but because they're locked up against like a console, like I don't have a PlayStation right now even though I really wanna play Spider-Man, I'm not gonna go buy a PlayStation to go and play Spider-Man. But if I had it available to me, I would very much buy it, and missed opportunities
Right.
right
And I
there.
think that's what they're starting to see, like with Sony starting to put some of their exclusives on PC, right? Like,
Mhm.
granted, their last gen PS4 release titles like Horizon Zero Dawn's now available on PC. That was exclusive. Um, Detroit Become Human was another exclusive to the PlayStation, but now it's available on PC. So we're starting to see that opening up more, which is great for gamers, all gamers. Um, so hopefully, like God of War
Good.
will come. I want to play that so bad. So, but yes, let's move on. So we're going to talk to you. We're going to talk to RoseRaider about her journey, bum, 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 into streaming.
About my journey.
Yes. So tell us a story of a budding rose. Puns. Um, and what drew you into it? Like, what made you come with the idea?
So,
I need to try streaming out.
yeah, I didn't really know what streaming I didn't know what watching streams was. I wasn't a viewer. I didn't spend 1 second in a stream before I started streaming. The only thing that I knew about streaming or, like, streaming your games or anything was that Ninja did it, and, like, I didn't get into it because of Ninja. So for a couple years before I started streaming, which was last September, I was doing some drop shipping, and I'm a bit of an entrepreneur. I had started a few brands, and so not only was I just selling products, but I was building a brand around products, and I was doing that with my brother. We were kind of like a duo team. He was marketing side, I was, kind of the brains on the PC making it all happen. We would come up with an idea, and I would bring it to life. And before that, I've got 10 years of business background within sales and really understanding how to structure a business properly for optimal output. And so I was sitting there working, and I've been working from home. Basically, my brother put a laptop on my lap and said, "Start a Shopify store." I said, "Well, I don't know what Shopify is." Well, Google. Okay. So I googled Shopify. Well, we had a Shopify store in like 2 hours, or not 2 hours. I think it was like 2 days. We had a Shopify store in 2 days, and that just kind of snowballed because just like that, you don't have to know how to do something to look it up in Google and figure it out.
Mhm.
And so I kind of see myself as a problem solver, and so you know I use the skills that I've obtained over the last 10 years to put all of those things into a stream. So I've always been a gamer. I'm a hardcore gamer. I grew up with a PlayStation. I had every gen. I even had the fourth one, but I lost it in a separation. So I've loved PC even more now. But so I was playing in my room and whatever. My brother came in and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I was I'm playing Apex, man. It's so much fun." He goes, "Why don't you stream it?" He goes, "Because you're building brands and doing all this stuff and promoting a business and a brand that we have built." And I think we did like two or three of them. He goes, why don't you just do it for yourself? Then you can just build a brand around you, and then we can market you, and then we could just do that. It'll be fine. And I was and he goes, and then you can play games in here all night, and it won't be for nothing. You know what I mean? Like you could be gaining something. I was like, I know, bro, but like I'm so bad. Like I grew up on PlayStation. I don't know how to shoot. Like I have no aim. I was all, I don't do it. Everyone's gonna laugh at me. And he goes, no, they won't. And even if they do, fuck them. It doesn't matter. And he goes, the people that are gonna be there in the beginning, they're gonna grow with you, and then they're gonna see you get better, and it's gonna be fine. I was all, okay. So I full sent it, and I researched what streaming was and what is it like to like, what do you have to do? And I found Twitch and Mixer, and Twitch seemed very commercialized, and Mixer seemed very home-like and a community and something that you could really kind of get into. And I was so drawn by the people and the energy that I chose Mixer. And so I started. It was a wild journey, and in about 5 or 6 months, I was partnered. And so I really kind of went full head into it. Everyone said I couldn't do it. They said, you're going to get denied. You're not going to make it. There's no way. All of this negative stuff. And I'm a very positive person, and I believe that you can manifest your own destiny. And it depends on how much work you want to do. So I told all of my friends, I said, I'm sorry, but you're never going to see me again. And I shut my door and I sat in my room I started on like a TV tray with one monitor, a pre-built piece of crap, and a drink. And I had a green screen that made my forehead like black out. Like I don't even think sometimes I had a forehead. And I just connected with people. I just connected with people, and I got to know people because it was about the relationships that I was building, and it was about the people that I was meeting, and everything. And I don't know, it just kind of went and it built, and we got it, and it's been a great journey. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It's been wild.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So, unfortunately everybody knows about the Mixer shutdown. And some people
Yeah.
some people at that time just gave up. They didn't transition to Twitch or anything, but you decided to transition to Twitch. Was it kind of were there hurdles with that, or was your community like, we're gonna follow you, it's cool, go on over, we'll see you there?
I would say about a quarter or a third was like, I'm gonna see you there. Let's go. We're ride or die. And I feel like that's huge on the fact that I didn't build a community around a game. So if I stopped playing Apex and I started playing something else, they're still gonna be there.
Right.
Because I feel like they were there because they were my friend.
Mhm.
And I was building a family and a community and a place to escape. And it was just kind of like we're hanging out, like those are my friends. I felt like closer to a lot of them than I would people that I actually know in my own town. It's just because of all the time that we spent, and I like to get to know people. And so transitioning wasn't as difficult as I think it was for some. Um, One thing is when the Mixer shutdown came, I remember being in a voice call in the Mixer partner Discord, and there was a bunch of people in there, and we were talking about everything that was going on. And I remember just keeping an eye on Twitter, and then I just saw that tweet, and I told everyone, I said, you guys all need to be quiet. I need to look at Twitter. And that's when everybody found out. And so between that time, I had because like remember how I said when I was working on, drop shipping, and my brother was kind of the marketing
Mhm.
side. So ironically enough, 11 hours before that, I was working on a marketing campaign that I had put money into to do Facebook ads for my Mixer. And it was going to go live because I was going to stream that night. It was going to go live that night for Mixer.
Wow.
And I had to call my brother up on the phone and say, you need to stop everything that we've done. You need to turn it off because I do not want to run Facebook ads to Facebook to drive them to Mixer, to a platform that's literally shutting down.
Wow.
So I turned all that off. I think we had one more stream. So whoever happened to show up at that stream knew what was going on. There was some people that, they don't make it to every single stream. And so there's some of our community that never even knew what happened.
Mhm.
And not only that, when I moved to Twitch, I changed my name because my name used to be Rose_Raider1, and now it was RoseRaider1. So I had kind of it's a little thing, but on Twitch, if you don't search the exact name, you're not gonna find
True.
them. Um, it was a hurdle. I just streamed for YouTube on YouTube for the first time a couple weeks back, and I didn't tell anybody I was streaming. I didn't post it on Twitter. I didn't tell my Discord. I was just like, guys, this is gonna be fun. Let's go stream on YouTube. So I did, and that's what we did. And when I was on there, I had somebody come in and they were like, "Oh my God, Rose, is this Rose? Are you Rose from Mixer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were all, "I was part of your family when we were at Mixer, but Mixer
Oh,
shut down, and I hate Twitch, and I haven't seen you since."
oh yeah,
And dude, that melted my
yeah,
heart, and so that really goes to show, and I know because I had many conversations. There's a lot of people that just don't wanna spend time on Twitch, and to each their own. I mean, I get that. That's why I'm super excited for Glimish. I think that's gonna bring in a lot of people that we lost, that aren't able to bring, then I've met a lot of new people, which is really awesome. We have an amazing group of people in our community, and they're super supportive in and out, and I think we kind of support each other. And getting to know your community and who they are and what games they like and playing with them will do so much better than just they're a viewer
yeah.
or they're chatting in my stream and whatever. Like there's people behind those usernames, and I like to get to know those people. I think it makes the world of difference.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Like I told you the podcast we streamed on Mixer for a while. I personally streamed on Mixer for a while as well. Not my goal was never to get partnered. It was just a fun thing for me to do. And I met so
Mhm.
many awesome people that I still talk to this day from Mixer.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, I think I maybe had like 75, right? 75 followers or whatever like that. But the thing was, you get to know them. Like there was,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's been so long since I've streamed on Mixer that I've forgotten some of the usernames, but I remember their stories, right? Like I remember one guy came in, he was kind of a regular. Like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and I remember, I think he was going to visit his mom or something like that, and then like 2 weeks later, he comes back into the stream. I was like, oh man, how'd you visit with your mom go? And he's like, you actually remembered that? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I do. You care about people. You see them as
Yeah.
regulars, you care about them, you want to get to know them.
Mhm.
So, and community, like you said, community is a huge part of it. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
you had that experience just on YouTube where like someone said, "Oh, I hate Twitch," like, but they
Yeah.
discovered you on YouTube, which is awesome. So,
The fact that, like, they first off, how did they find me
right,
the one day? You know what I mean? Like, it was just so crazy,
yeah,
and it's so cool, and I think that a huge thing to point out is, each new person that comes into your community, whether you have 75 followers or whether you have 10,000 followers, like, I feel like you should still treat them like they were that first follower that came in or that first person, you know what I mean? And still try to get to know them and not be like, "Well, I already have 500 followers, and so, like, hi, like, you're just kind of a number
hmm,
now." Really kind of, give them that same respect that it was when, you only had a couple people. And if you get to know each individual person on an individual level, then you're going to build a rapport with them. And I feel like cancel the word networking, restate it with building bonds and connections with people and like getting to know them. Um, and I think you're going to build so much
yeah,
more, so much more.
sure. But you mentioned Glimish, so you stream on Twitch primarily, right?
Mhm.
You've now branched into YouTube a little bit, or is this just
Yes, a little bit, here and there, just kind of filling it out. Honestly, I just wanted to practice on what it would be like to switch my OBS and change things around because when Glimish launches, I'm gonna be streaming on both platforms. I'm not gonna quit Twitch. And so it's kind of just a little fun practice right now for different
no?
platforms.
Absolutely, that's good. That's good. Yeah, Glimish. We interviewed Luke, CEO and founder, on here, and we're excited for it as well. We're hopefully gonna stream the podcast, and we'll hopefully start personally streaming again, um, with their FTL type stuff. So that you'll have that interaction, hopefully, sub-second or whatever they're saying.
Fingers
Fingers
crossed.
crossed, everything without a hitch. But yeah, so Glimish
I
looking
mean,
promising. I'm excited for it. But yes,
I've been excited from the moment that I saw it, honestly.
yeah, and that's how
Um,
we met. I mean,
yeah.
let's take a look behind the curtain. That's how we came to know each other, from the Glimish Discord. Full disclosure,
Mhm.
Um, but and now we're having you on the podcast.
Bringing people together.
Exactly,
Bringing people together, I
it's
love
so
it. I
good.
love it. I love it when like-minded people come together. And the thing that I love about it is like everyone's so open-minded and accepting and, flexible, but also easy to talk to because I think communication is key
Mhm.
and like willing to it makes such a big difference. I think we have an awesome team. I couldn't be more happier with the team that is Glimish.
Yeah,
It's just so great.
couldn't agree more. It's
Mhm.
some great folks in that community leading the team. So it's awesome.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Glimish, be sure to. It's GLI Mesh .tv and go take a look. Get your username now before someone else takes
Yeah,
it, because I promise you that's going to be the place to be. I really feel like it's going to redefine the way that we view our live content. We're not competing with Twitch. We're not competing with Facebook. We're making something that's a little different, and it's going to challenge a little bit of the norm, but I think that's how we grow, and I think that's how we evolve, and it's definitely going to be something that you're going to want to check out and keep on your radar.
absolutely. Couldn't agree more. You just laid it out. I mean, I don't need to say anything more about it. You nailed it.
Up, up.
So yeah, so
Hype
now,
woman, let me tell you
yeah,
what.
that's right. That's right. So so you're doing this all the streaming stuff. You have all this history with business and building brands and things like that. And what opportunities has that led you to other than just streaming?
um I feel like in life, I've had a lot of different opportunities, different areas. Are you mean like job wise?
No, like with streaming career wise. So you've built this good brand. You've like I think you recently landed a partnership, right?
Okay, yes. I think that really understanding that your stream can be a business and to think of it as such, and what are your goals, and really going from the inside and outside all together as a business. And one thing that I think is huge is monetizing your platform. um that is, some may think that that's from subs and bits that you may get like on Twitch. And I think that you should learn how to monetize your stream outside of that, to where if you get subs, that's cool.
Mhm.
If you get bits, that's even better. But it's not a necessity, and it's not something that you have to depend on. There's other ways that you can monetize your business in a lot of different ways, and also like marketing and exposure and making partnerships or aligning yourself with similar businesses um, similar similar goals. So you really need to know what you are, what you stand for, and where you want to go. What do you want to do with it? Like what are you wanting to strive with that? What mission or message are you trying to get across to your community? So one of those things, there is a new partnership that I got this week. It is Drop Ship or Quick Drop Media. It is a new gaming platform or a gaming it's a free gaming newsletter. Let me say that correctly. Quick Drop Media is a free gaming newsletter. They are new, but I like to find like the kind of new stuff that says, "Well, this is the way we all do stuff, and everybody's the same but a little different." And then there's these guys, right? And I feel like that's what Glimish is. Glimish is these guys over
Mhm.
here, and I feel like Quick Drop is these guys over here. They came and approached me
Okay.
and wanted to know if I was interested in working with them and the stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm not too sure. I think I want to take a step back. I appreciate you reaching out to me. I want to take a few weeks and kind of see what you do. I want to see what this evolves into. And so I spent 2 3 weeks to a month kind of vetting them in sense, looking at what they were doing, watching their activity on social media, talking with the owner, who is an amazing man, by the way. From the little bit that I've talked to him, he used to be working in finance in New York, and so we got to talking. Like I have a business sense, and I love when I get to talk with someone who kind of has that sort of background. The brainstorming that we get to do is just amazing. So we got to talking, and I really got to know kind of where he's headed and what he's doing. And with the activity that I had saw, he's not just having these ideas and not doing anything with them. They've got ideas and they're making them happen. they're doing something with it, you know? And then he goes, "Well, I see that you're in Glimish." He goes, "I see that you're representing Glimish well, and you know, you're promoting them on your social media, and I think that's really awesome. And I think that you could definitely be an asset to our team, you know, but I would love to talk to you about Glimish." And so, you know, I directed them to who they could talk to with Glimish as well, because I wouldn't really be the one responsible for
Sure.
bringing on a partnership with
Right.
Glimish. But I could give them all the information. So we had conversations and I told them about all the different features, you know, what's going on, all of the ins and outs of Glimish and what it is, as well as a new events team that we have put together. So let me touch on that really quick. Let's say Mixer, for a Mixer partner, you would have a partner rep that you could talk to. And let's say you have an event on your stream, maybe they'll put it on the front page or maybe they'll put it on their socials or something. Well, instead of having that locked behind a partnership, I thought, how amazing would it be to allow everyone to have that ability to think creatively for their stream and not say, well, I'm a small streamer, so I don't have that ability. But instead of thinking that you're not a small streamer, you're a streamer, right? You can have quality content even with 0 viewers, right? And so there's a way to do that. And so if you want to do this event, who's to say that your content isn't worthy of that? So we started this event team, so you guys will be able to, you know, think creatively. And when you want to have an event for your stream, you know, there'll be a survey you can fill out, all kinds of stuff. And then, you know, possibly that could happen. We think that that's going to be a huge way that we could also integrate and help one another with Quick Drop. Let's say if someone from Glimish, let's say Bub was having an event on his stream. Quick Drop could actually put that event in their newsletter so that everybody with their newsletter could be able to see that and know that's happening. So it's another outlet, another source type thing that could happen. So yeah, so I'm really excited to partner with them, kind of spread the news. Right now, it's just kind of signing up with your email, and it's not going to be some huge spammy thing. They want to keep you updated on what's going on, but they want it to be a quick read, right? They want it to be, you know, less than 5 minutes read. You kind of get the update for the day, and then you go on. They're going to feature different streamers. They're going to feature different games. They're gonna fill you in on the news. One fun thing that they're doing is, you know, each college has esports teams. So they're wanting to possibly sign like different esports teams. I know they just got Clemson, right? So if they can get everybody, we can almost sort of like do a tournament.
Hmm. Really cool.
Yeah, so fun stuff like that, fun stuff. Lots of ideas, lots of ideas. The thing that I like about it the most is their idea guys that put them into action. Just like Glemish has great ideas and we put it into action. I feel like that's what I'm about as well. And so I think that our values align. So I'm super excited to work with them. Um, but really just thinking about like, okay, so maybe you don't have a business background or that like I do, but that doesn't mean that you're limited. All you have to do is just research, use Google, use your resources because you have every opportunity that I do, but you just have to apply yourself and put in that time to look for those things and look for those brands. Like, don't go to a brand that you don't really know anything about and say, "Oh my god, I want you," because of their name,
Hmm.
you know, because of the hype that they have for that. You need to go and look at their website and find out who's behind it, who is in charge of it, how do they think? You know, is it something that you like? Is that something that you wanna be associated with? Because you're gonna be associated with that brand, and that brand is gonna be associated with you. So if their values and what they do and how they act and all those things don't align with your vision and where you wanna go, then that's not gonna be a good partnership to begin with, and it's gonna be very one-sided. You wanna make sure that you're getting something out of it as well as you're benefiting them, and not so much as what you're getting out of it, but what could you add to add value
Hmm.
to what it is they're doing, and what could they do to add value? You know, it's not always a money sign. It's there's so much more that you can get out of it. And when you really think about it that way, it can really open much broader opportunities. You know, you need to go for it. Don't wait for them to come to you.
Okay, that's great. That's great advice. And I think I've said it before. Relationships are the best form of currency.
Yes.
So yeah, money's nice and all, but you don't know what other opportunities are going to arise from a relationship you formed with people like Quick Drop, for example, or whoever else. Um, and no, that's some really good advice for folks, you know, in the streaming world trying to, you know, monetize streams, be business minded. Um, very smart guy once told me that I work with still to this day. Um, it's for one wasn't related to streaming, it was related to just work in general. And he said, you don't have to know it, just know it exists.
Mhm.
And I've applied that in many aspects of my life, because if you don't have to know all the ins and outs, 100% of everything, but if you know it exists, you can go find out as much information as you want to on it.
Yes.
So,
Yes. And if you have a question, put your question in Google,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So, like, if you're like, "Well, I don't know." Okay, well, how long are you gonna sit there and not know for? Because we literally have access at our fingertips
Right.
to every single thing that you could ever want to know. You just have to know how to find it.
Mm-hmm.
And Google is an amazing place, and Reddit is full of communities and people just like you and I and everybody else in this world who has probably gone through something that you already have, and they've already asked that question and they've already got the answer. So, cool tip for Google, like, let's say, what stores are close to me? No. There's so many filler words because every time you put in a word like the store, you should just use store. And they should be more refined searches because what happens is for every space that's in between a word, Google looks up that individual word. So if there's the word the in your search at all, it's going to pull up every single website that has the word the.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many websites you're going to get? And like how many times do you ever go to page 2 on Google? So if you don't get the answer that you're looking for the first time, reword it. Reword it. Try to think of how can I take this out? What could I maybe say what's another word for so and so? What's a noun for this word? How could I describe this type of things? And so like just try to be creative thinking in that and you will be amazed at the information that you will learn. And if you want to find Reddit instead of just going to search Reddit, put in that search and put Reddit at the end.
Absolutely. I've done that
That's
playtime. That's a good one. That is true. Yeah. Done that
Yep.
playtime. Just
Google doesn't have it, Reddit
yeah.
does.
Reddit is the new internet. I'm convinced.
They have
They have
all the info.
everything.
They're the new wiki,
Yeah.
okay? They're the new
It really is.
wiki.
Reddit has everything. Awesome. 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 Well, Rose, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your journey with us. Been fantastic.
Sure, I had
It's a
fun.
good story. See, I learned something about you.
Yeah.
I didn't know all this stuff. This is amazing. Um,
Fun facts about Rose.
right, right. So, we're just gonna roll. We're bringing something back. We haven't done it in a little while. We're gonna bring back unpopular opinion. I think Rose has an unpopular opinion, and I want her to share it with y'all.
We got an unpopular my unpopular opinion is that I don't like the COD zombies.
What don't you like about
I
COD
know.
zombies?
Okay. So, I have Modern Warfare, and it was the first COD I've ever played.
Okay.
Um, I like it, but it has its issues. Well, because it has so many issues, I refused to buy the new one because I figured I was just buying the same issues over again,
Right.
right? So I was like, "No, I'm not gonna do it." So everyone's like, "Well, zombies came out and the picture looks like a rave," and I love raves. So I was like, "I'm gonna play." So the free games are out. I downloaded it. We're gonna play it. I tried to play 6 times, and every time I tried to play, I made it like not even 2 minutes into the game, and I got this, like, weird Ethernet looking cord thing on my screen, and I was like, "What is happening right now?" They're all, "You're DCing." I'm like, "Huh." So it happened 6 times in a row, and I said, "You know what? I'm not gonna play this." So, then today, I decided to try it out and see if I could actually finish. I didn't DC for many games. I could play, and I finished a couple games. I didn't like having to well, everybody already kinda knew what to do, right? So everybody's running around doing all the things that I probably should be doing, right? Or could know about doing, but I didn't know because I just didn't know, and they do it before I know, so I'm not learning. I'm not learning anything. I'm just running around shooting zombies. And you get all these waves, and so then it gets to a point I think we got up to, like, I don't know, wave, like, 13 or 14, and, you've just got these heaps of zombies, and you're, like, getting these heaps, and then I turn around but now I'm being tackled by all these zombies, and it's just a game of how fast can I reload, and how fast can I spray or pump a shotgun in them, and, like, that's all I'm doing. It's just shooting and then reload, and then shooting and then reload, and it's like, I would much rather play Modern Warfare multiplayer and like try to aim and shoot someone than I would to just like close my eyes and pull
Okay.
the trigger. You
Yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
like the spray and pray wasn't for me. I didn't. I actually turned it off and was like, I'm gonna uninstall it.
Okay.
It wasn't what I wanted. It was not what I
That,
expected. I don't
that,
know. It
and,
wasn't for
and
me.
that is all right, and that is what unpopular opinion is all about. So thank you for
Ugh.
sharing your COD Zombies unpopular opinion.
You're welcome.
Fantastic.
Sorry.
But don't,
Sorry.
guys, be nice in the comments, okay? Be nice in the comments. You know the slogan we wrap up every show with, okay? So that's what it's about. All right. And Rose will probably hear that shortly. So, well, again, we're going to wrap this up. This has been episode 37 of the Fresh Takes Gaming Podcast. Rose, let everybody know where they can find you. Plug all your stuff.
For sure. I am pretty easy to find. RoseRaider 1 on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram and Glimish. And so yeah, go check me out. Go click the follow button. If you go to any one of those, you'll be able to make your way to a Discord link if you would like to play games. I'm open, so I play WoW, Phasmophobia, Among Us, Cyberpunk, Apex, COD, Valhalla, and then some other ones. I really like to play with the community. So yeah, just get involved. I know sometimes people could be scary, and you're like, I don't want to bother them. No, I'm open. I'm open. I'm your friend. You don't even know me, but you're going to, and we're gonna be best friends. So let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. And we, of course, will put all your links in the video description. So check this out below.
Awesome.
I am Evan. This has been Fresh Takes Gaming. Hit us up on Twitter at Fresh Takes Pod or on Instagram, which we never really post there. Instagram, whatever. Fresh Takes Gaming. And we're also on TikTok now. If you do the TikTok thing, giving that a shot. I don't know how it's going to go. We've posted 2 videos. I don't know. At Fresh Takes
I
Gaming.
just started one too.
So
a little weird.
it is weird. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's different. Just different. So yeah, at Fresh Takes Gaming on TikTok. Hit us up in the Discord. Links below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're also doing a 100 subscriber giveaway. We're at like 76, 77 right now on YouTube. Get to 100. We're giving some stuff away, y'all. So check that out.
Yeah.
Until next,
Hit that subscribe.
hit it. Smash that button. Smash it.
Mhm.
So, all right, guys. That's gonna wrap it up. And as always, the best game is the game you like to play and how you like to play it. See you next time. Peace, y'all.